Hello and welcome to this week's edition of TitleTown Throwdown. I am your host, Nick LeBlanc. Well, thank you for joining me this Thursday. So, why don't we get off today with a little something here. Hey, Boston Bruins, would you guys, I don't know, care to show up to free agency? Because it's been going on for about 2 weeks now. And all I have to show for it so far is Craig Smith. Re-signing Matt Grzelcyk, restricted free agent, T-Die, get it, totally. But, and then re-signing a couple first-round picks from 2015 that have not panned out in the slightest. But then your one first-round pick, Jake DeBrusk, who has worked out, you haven't given him anything yet. Granted, I know, first-round pick, want to see if there's compensation for him. Yeah, I get it. And you still got your captain, right? Sorry, your captain, Zdeno Chara. He's out there, unsigned. I mean, at the end of the day, yes. It's Chara's decision whether he wants to come back here or not. Yes. And I think Chara's made it perfectly clear that he wants to be back. Why don't you guys give your captain just a simple 1 year, $2 million deal? It won't count much against the cap and be done with it. Because you're saying you're going to go in there with a very young defensive core. You're going to need Chara to be the leader. You need McAvoy to step up. You're going to need to see Matt Grzelcyk step up. You're giving that big contract for a reason. Kevin Miller, if he's healthy, he will step up, but you still need the veteran leadership of Zdeno Chara. Yes, 43 years old. Now, you can make a line of, say, Carlo and McAvoy, put Chara with Miller, and Grzelcyk with whoever. Now, look, am I against Craig Smith signing? No, I think it's a good third, fourth line piece. Maybe you can place that line with David Krejci. I don't know. We don't know. Well, what I do know is that we need to bring back Jake DeBrusk. We need to bring back Zdeno Chara for leadership purposes and go on and get somebody else. Either a good high-end defenseman via trade, or we sign whoever's left on the market. Just look. Krug, you let him walk. Pietrangelo, he's in Vegas. All these other high-end type of guys, I don't know. Mike Hoffman, there's some trade rumors on him. You've been linked to him. Do the Bruins have enough assets to get him? I think so. I think you can package maybe guys like Zaboral, Shenson, maybe a couple of draft picks to Florida in order to get Mike Hoffman, who will help the defensive core. Now, I think he's a good two-way defenseman, which is good because still needs some more scoring from your defensive guys. Anyway, but again, Bruins, free agency has started. The offseason started a long time ago. Could have had guys like Chara, DeBrusk, Grzelcyk, Carlo, who's still a restricted free agent. You guys had roughly an entire month while the conference final and Stanley Cup final were going on. You guys had a whole month to sign these guys before they could even hit the market. But here we are on October 22nd, 2020. Free agency started Friday, October 9th. Krug left. Pietrangelo's off the market. Other guys are off the market. Like, what's the issue here, Boston? What's the issue? Go out and make a trade. Go out and make a splash. Something. Because championship windows for guys like Chara, if he comes back. Bergeron, Krejci, Tuukka Rask. Yes, I'm going to put Tuukka Rask on here because I think Rask is gone at the end of the year. Whenever they play. They're gone. You're already going to be without Marchand and Pastrnak for the at least, I don't know, first couple of weeks, first month of the season. Again, whenever the season plays, if we even have a season. Anyway, the NHL announced today that the NHL Winter Classic and the 2021 NHL All-Star Game have been postponed due to the uncertainty of the pandemic. That makes sense. that makes sense because in a lot of areas like Minnesota, like Boston, I think maybe like DC, um, Chicago, you're not allowed to have fans yet. The Canadian border is still closed to the U.S. So, bing, bang, boom, you're already out. Bing, bang, boom. Like, you're already having issues. Now, look, can the NHL play with the divisions a little bit and have, like, something? Yeah, the NHL, you can easily move around the divisions in the NHL. What they did in baseball, it was fun. You had to keep the divisions the same, but regionalize everything. Yeah, you couldn't really change up the divisions all too much. Could have done it in spring training, baseball, but I'll say baseball for another day. Anyway, for the Bruins, this is probably your most, if not the most important off season. Because this is your last chance to win a Stanley Cup. You blew it in 2013. You absolutely laid an egg in 2019 in Game 7. Mind you, both Game 6 and Game 7, both at home ice. Both at home. You had a chance to win it this year. The pandemic really, I think, derailed the team. But besides the point, you still won the President's Trophy. You're still the best team in the NHL. And you let Tampa Bay, who ended up being the Stanley Cup champions, walk all over you. Like it was nothing. Let them walk all over you like it was nothing. So it'd just be nice if we could see Don Sweeney, Cam Neely, start working some phones. Get on the phones trying to make a trade, make a signing. Just something to give Bruins fans something to get excited for the next season. Because right now, as a Bruins fan myself, I'm afraid of what next season's going to look like. If and when it starts. Right now, the start date is January 1st. And a lot of the owners are pushing to fans in the buildings. Again, story for another day. If and when next season starts, this is probably truly the last season that the Bruins have at trying to win a Stanley Cup. Guys like Chara officially retires. Bergeron is on the way of retirement. Krejci's on the way of retirement. Marchand's getting older. All these guys are getting older, and guys like Carlo if he comes back, DeBrusque if he comes back, McAvoy's due to be an unrestricted free agent soon. They're going to leave. They're going to leave for teams that are ready to contend now. Well, you're going to be in a rebuilding mode. Rass is going to be gone after next year, most likely. Halak probably won't be here either. So you're going to have Vlader and whatever his name is down in Providence. I forget the name has me, but I'm drawing a blank on it. They're going to be your starting two goaltenders probably for the 2021-2022 season. Bruins fans, how scary is that? Two no-name goaltenders could potentially be your goalies in 2000. Could potentially be your goaltenders in the 2021-2022 season. With David Pastrnak probably at the helm, Bergeron, he'll still be the cap. He'll probably be here. He'll probably most likely get the C. Pointing to it wrong again. Either way, though, the Bruins had to bring back as much of the core as possible. They had to bring back Char. Char's been a staple here since 2006. You can't just let a guy go like that. Ortiz, he was a staple here from 2013. Red Sox did not let him go. Red Sox kept him. They kept him here, and he retired here. Bruins, you got to do the same for Chara. He's been here 14 years. 6 years. Almost 15 years. He's been here since 2006. He brought you home one cup, and he helped you get to two more. What are you waiting for? Give the big man his contract. Go out and get some more help. Just if you don't get help soon, this team is going to mightily struggle in the 2020-2021 NHL season. Again, if and when it starts. If and when it starts. But anyway, though, have any of you guys watched the World Series at all? Because if it should, seeing Moody Betts in the postseason should make your stomach turn a notch. We're going to talk about whether that was a good trade for the Red Sox. Coming up next, you're listening to TitleTown Throwdown. And welcome back to TitleTown Throwdown. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about the lovely Red Sox. We're going to talk about the Sox. So, Mookie Betts, he's playing his second World Series in 3 years. And ironically enough, it was with the Red Sox 2018 when they beat the Dodgers. Here he is in 2020 in the World Series playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers, playing against yet another American League East opponent, the Tampa Bay Rays, who tied up the series last night. If you're a Red Sox fan, you want Tampa Bay to win this series because the return you got on Mookie Betts, Alex Verdugo, and two minor league outfielders in Jeter Downs and Turner Wong, and Jeter Downs, who is the Dodgers' best prospect. They didn't play a game this year because the minor league season was postponed. You never really saw. We saw Verdugo. Verdugo looks like he can play. Verdugo looks like a guy who can play. That was a 60-game stretch. We got to see what Verdugo can do over the course of a 162-game season, and when the minor league baseball is actually playing, like they will next year. We got to see what Jeter Downs can do in Portland or in Worcester. They decided to put him there. Same with Turner Wong, where they decided to put him in Class A Salem, AA Portland, or AAA Worcester. You got to see what you have out of the prospects. You really, truly got to see what you have out of Alex Verdugo. Now, look, I'm still against the Mookie Betts trade. I don't think you should have signed Mookie Betts. Now, look, chances of him re-signing here are probably slim. Yeah. Red Sox gave him a big offer, though. According to 98.5 The Sports Hub, Michael Felder, the Red Sox gave him almost exactly what the Dodgers gave him. Mine's maybe a year and about maybe, I want to say $50 million. And Mookie Betts turned it down. Do I blame Mookie Betts for turning it down? Not really, because the Red Sox have shown to cheap out in the past. John Lester, they wanted him when Larry Lucchino was in charge. He offered Lester 4 years to $73.5 million. A slap in the face. Want to know what John Lester signed for the Cubs? 7 years, $235 million. Go figure. Money talks. Now, look, the same can be said in the NHL, the NBA, and the NFL. Money talks. More so in baseball because it is guaranteed money. In the other three leagues, there's a salary cap. So the players aren't getting the full amount until the life of the contract. Baseball, your money is guaranteed. If you're making $26 million a year, you're going to get that $26 million by the end of September or October. You're going to get every cent of that. A football player, he just signed Patrick Mahomes, perfect example, just signed the richest contract in baseball in professional sports history. $500 million. Wonder how much he's gonna see of that? Probably not all of it. Because the Chiefs are wise and they have his contract structured in a way which they can take money from his contract and use it to sign other guys that they need to keep the team intact. So yeah, Patrick Mahomes signed for $500 million, but he's not going to get the $500 million. I think he'll be lucky if he gets $400 million of that money because it's salary cap. Baseball is fully guaranteed; you get every cent. But anyway, though, I think that this might be a trade that the Red Sox will come to regret, because Mookie Betts is quickly turning himself into one of the prime superstars in the game, honestly. And I think maybe a lot of people might disagree with me on this. I think he's better than Mike Trout, because Mookie Betts has done more in his career in a short time than Mike Trout has. Mike Trout, 10 years in the league, 1 playoff appearance. Mookie Betts, just under 10 years in his career. He was in the playoffs in 2016, 17, 18, and now 2020. 4 playoff appearances, 2 of them World Series. Multiple-time All-Star, just like Mike Trout. Gold Glover, MVP. Mookie's done it all. A World Series ring. What does Trout have? Yeah. 9-time All-Star. Multiple MVP awards. Probably a batting title here and there. No playoff success. Mike Trout's played in only 3 playoff games. And the Angels lost every single one. They lost every single one to the Kansas City Royals, who went on to play in the World Series in 2014, only losing 7 games to the San Francisco Giants. And the Royals went right back to the World Series next year and won it. Where were the Angels in 2015? Sitting at home. Mookie Betts came up in 2014. Red Sox were a bad team in 2014. He played in 2015. Red Sox, again, a mediocre, decent team. Division, World Series championship, missed the playoffs. It's been the Red Sox the last 4 years of Mookie Betts. Past year, Mookie Betts goes to the Dodgers, playoff appearance. Red Sox without Mookie Betts, absolutely terrible. This is going to be a trade that the Red Sox are going to look back and say, oh, man, we really botched this one, didn't we? Because you did! You did! It's not like the John Lester incident, but it's going to become that. Because now Betts is a Dodger for the next 13 years. And he's going to be happy there. The Dodgers can win their first championship this year. They have 3 games. They need to win 3 more games to wrap it up this weekend. Or the race to wrap it up this weekend. One of the two is going to wrap it up between now and October 28th. And on October 29th, Alex Cora suspension is over. What are you going to do, Red Sox? Let Alex Cora walk like you just gave away Mookie Betts? You're going to give away Alex Cora? Or are you going to take that opportunity to save a little bit of face? Never mind the fan base. The fan base is probably going to disagree with Alex Cora's decision anyway. I'm not. A lot of the fan base will. But a chance to win your clubhouse back as owners, to bring back in a guy who the players respected and they trust and they want to be led by, it will help you out in the clubhouse. It'll increase player morale, and you might get a better entertainment product on the field this season consistently than you did last season. Because for the first 6.5 weeks, the Red Sox were just absolute garbage. Last 3.5 weeks, they turned it on a little bit, finished with in a normal season terms, a respectable record. They still finished in last place. And look, I feel bad for Ron Renneke. Look, I don't think Renneke was going to last, but Renneke was given no pitching staff, no bullpen, and a quasi-decent offense. That lost a lot of credibility with the Mookie Betts departure. Benefit to the Red Sox that Alex Verdugo provided some of that spark when you needed it and provided some of the power, again, when you needed it. So that is a bright spot. Verdugo seems to be working out for the Red Sox. Let's see what he can do in a full 162-game season next year. Let's see what Jeter Downs and Connor Wong, see if they can work their way up the ranks and get to the major leagues starting next season. And who's going to lead the team? Will it be Alex Cora or will it be Will Venable from the Chicago Cubs? Could it be AJ Hinch? That I doubt. But, you don't know. Or the Red Sox could go in a completely different direction. That's Jason Varitek if he wants the job. No, look, Varitek, zero experience. I get that. Alex Cora, he was a bench coach, but no managerial experience. Aaron Boone, perfect example. No coaching experience. And what does he do? 2018, he does the Yankees' managerial job. And he's only brought the Yankees to the playoffs 3 straight years. Nothing to show for it, but still, got them there 3 straight years. Got him there. What did Alex Cora give you in his first year? 108 wins, World Series title. Following year, missed the playoffs, but in 2019, a lot of things happened. Injuries, guys weren't ready to go because I think Cora's system was flawed in 2019, but that's besides the point. The team underperformed in 2019, okay? Let's just admit that. But it just goes to show that no matter who comes in as Red Sox manager, they need to win over the clubhouse. Whether that's Jason Varitek with 0 managerial experience or Alex Cora has 2 years as a manager, 3 years as a coach in general. We'll see. And with the exclusion of both Valentine and Renicky, managers who typically manage the Red Sox in their first season don't want to win the playoffs. They don't want to win the whole thing. So Jason Varitek becomes manager. Don't be surprised if the Red Sox rally around him and they go to the World Series and win it again for the team's 10th title overall and 5th in roughly 19 years. Think about it. Alex Cora, you bring him back in. You're just trying to reget the clubhouse and keep the team competitive. You're not going to ask Alex Cora for much. You're not going to ask Alex Cora to win 108 games consistently, win the division consistently, and win the World Series consistently. No. You bring Alex Cora back in here to save some face, to the clubhouse around, and keep the team competitive, keep the team relevant, and try to make the playoffs. Anyone that comes in as Red Sox manager are going to have 0 expectations on them. 0. Which will bode well for the manager and will bode well for the Red Sox. Anyway, though, Red Sox will come back to regret that Mookie Betts trade if Verdugo doesn't work out, Downs doesn't work out, and Connor Wong doesn't work out. If all 3 guys don't work out, the Red Sox are going to look like the biggest losers in that trade ever. And the Red Sox are just going to be mediocre for a long time. Anyway, should we be concerned about the Patriots? Maybe. We'll see. You're listening to TitleTown Throwdown. Keep it right here. We will be right back after a quick little message. Hey, welcome back to TitleTown Throwdown. Yeah, on the wardrobe change. Because now we're talking football. Not just any kind of football, Patriot football. All right, so last week, a dud. All right? It was a dud. Get that. Totally get it. It was the, It could be a slew of things. It could have been the 2 practices in 2 weeks, all the COVID, not everyone's ready to go. A slew of things. But what did it cost? Cost you only second place in the division behind the Miami Dolphins. Now you're sub 500 for the first time since 2001, 2002 in that area. The Miami Dolphins, who are going from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Tua Tagovailoa. Don't, if I botched his name wrong, I'm sorry. You're going from that to going from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Tua. I don't know what you're going to do. This is a golden opportunity for the Patriots. And Jimmy Garoppolo comes back this week. Jimmy's back. Who once was the potential heir of the Patriots is now the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. We got Cam Newton. Yes, it's the Cam Newton jersey. And here the Patriots sit at 2-3. San Francisco's 3-3, so they're not any better. But this week, though, the Patriots should be better. Full week of practice. There have been no positive tests out of the Patriots camp so far this week. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, make sure that there's none between now and Sunday afternoon. Because the Patriots game now moved 3 times in a week. Their game is Denver. Originally scheduled for week 5. Already scheduled from Sunday, October 11th to Monday, October 12th. Postponed altogether to last Sunday. And yeah, defense did great. Only allowed 6 field goals. Didn't allow Denver into the end zone. Forced Locke to throw 2 interceptions. Yeah, it was an all-around pretty good day for the Patriots. Offensively, not so much. Now, granted, again, you can say Cam Newton only practiced once in 2 weeks, which is fair. That is true. Offensive line never practiced with them before, so it was a makeshift offensive line. Again, fair. But to come out like that, score only 3 points through the first 3.5 quarters? The Patriots are lucky that game wasn't worse than what the final actually was. You only lost by 6. And that's because Drew Lock turned into the quarterback that everyone thought. A lot of interceptions early on. Yada, yada. Cam struggled. But again, he was recovering from COVID, only practiced once in 2 weeks. Fair. So you can play the excuse game all you want here. End of the day, it still comes down to execution. The Patriots have so many opportunities to execute on plays and take advantage of opportunities. And in a rare Patriots game, but in back-to-back weeks, even rarer, by the wayside. It was like that in Kansas City. So many opportunities to get off the field and put the offense in great position. Couldn't get off the field. Allowing big gains, big pass plays, big run plays. And surprisingly, the Patriots have given up the 4th fewest points in the NFL at 102 points. The 4th fewest points. For a 2-3 team, that's really good. But it's not bad for a team that should be 2-2. Maybe even 3-1 if you want to look at the Seattle game. Say the Patriots should have won that game, and yeah, they probably should have. If you think about it, too, they should have won the Kansas City game. So instead of being 2-3, that record could easily be 4-1 on top of the AFC East. Instead of the 4-2 Buffalo Bills leading the division, the 3-3 Miami Dolphins being second. You don't have to worry about going in last place because the Jets are just absolute garbage, and the Jets are the Jets. All right. Realistically, the AFC East is a 3-team race between the Bills, Dolphins, and Patriots, who are all within a game and a half It's astonishing. After 6 weeks of football, you still have a shot at the division. It's not over yet. But unfortunately, though, for this Patriots team, the only way you're going to get to the playoffs is if you win the AFC East. Yeah, you can hope and pray that the Bills fall off the cliff and the Dolphins lose their last 10 games, which is the Patriots' upcoming schedule is not friendly. All right, you got the 49ers this upcoming week. All right, you got San Francisco this week. So let's focus on San Francisco. But after San Francisco, though, it's going to be a lot for the Patriots, and we're going to go over that schedule in just a second. But if you're the Patriots, though, this is probably a make or break game in your season. Because if you lose this game and fall to 2-4, your path to the playoffs becomes much more difficult. Because the Bills, they're playing the lowly Jets this week. The Bills, that's almost a guaranteed win. The Bills are playing against a freaking practice squad. If you think about it. So here's the Patriots' upcoming next 5 games. Home versus the 49ers. At the Buffalo Bills. Monday Night Football at the Jets. Sunday Night Football, home versus the Baltimore Ravens. And then the Sunday afternoon game at Houston. And Houston's not good this year. So that bodes well for you. There's 2 wins right there. So not including what I think is going to happen this week, the following week, and what's going to happen 3 weeks from now when they play Baltimore. The Patriots need to make a lot happen. Now, look, the Patriots might be catching a break too because Garoppolo, he's still not at 100%. He's still coming off an ankle injury. He had a great game against the Rams last week. Who's to say he's not going to have a great game against you? No one's stopping him from doing that. No one. And you got the Niners, the Bills, the Jets, the Ravens. Then Houston, who's not good again this year. So, perfect opportunity for the Patriots to really try to make something come to fruition here. Because if the Patriots don't, it's good. It's going to be bad news. So, what do I think is going to happen this week for the Patriots? What do they need to do to win this game? And avoid a game like Denver. Avoid a game like Kansas City. You had a good game plan against Seattle, okay? Seattle was a good loss. Kansas City is, for about a half, a good moral victory. Yeah, again, good losses and moral victories don't count towards the standings. A loss is a loss, a win is a win. I get that. But what do the Patriots need to do to be successful this week? Well, for starters, get off to a better start offensively than what you did. Cam Newton needs to play a little bit better. He's probably going to be better with a full week of practice now. The offensive line should be intact. Shaq Mason's off the COVID list. David Andrews is back from injured reserve. The offensive line should be set. So, a better start offensively. Your entire offense will practice together for an entire week, barring any other positive COVID tests. So that is that. 3, play better defense. And look, again, I just said Patriots, 4th fewest points in the league. Not bad for a 2-3 team. Not bad for a team that struggled against the run. Not bad for a secondary that's been torched sometimes. Gilmore. He got lit up by DK Metcalf a few weeks ago, but came right back and shut down the Chiefs and shut down the Broncos passing game. So it's not bad, but the Patriots have to avoid the big plays and get off the field on 3rd down. Keep Jimmy Garoppolo on the sideline. Keep your offense on the sideline and run the clock for 6 minutes at a time. You're going to give San Francisco very little chances to capitalize and respond. Gives you the chance to win ball possession, get your offense truly going, and really get back on track. If you could come out of here with a win, go 3-3, and get ready to face Buffalo, who probably by the end of the week will be 5-2, it sets you up good. And the Patriots typically play the Bills hard. Not saying the Patriots are going to beat the Bills, but if the Patriots do beat the Bills, it's going to be a tight race to the end of the season for the division. Now look, can the Patriots still make the playoffs through a wild card spot? Yeah, they could, because again, Bengals, don't worry about them. The Browns will probably fade. The Colts will probably fade as well. The Texans aren't going anywhere this year. The Jaguars aren't going to go anywhere this year. There's already 5 teams that are probably. I'll do the team. Look, I'm going to give you the teams right now that are probably already eliminated, and it benefits the Patriots in the AFC. All right, so let's go through them right now. All right, so Jets, done. Jags, done. Texans, done. Chargers, I'll give them a glimmer of hope. Bengals, done. All right, so there's 5 teams already out of there. Broncos are probably not going to make it. The Dolphins will probably come back down to earth. The Raiders, maybe. The Colts will probably fade. The Browns will probably fade. I don't see the Ravens fading. The Bills could fade. Half the conference right there, you can make it. The 7 playoff teams. Half of them are probably going to either fade or choke away a playoff spot. Or, if you're lucky enough, like the Bills, choke away the division. It's possible. It's extremely possible. All right. Don't forget to check out the Evil Empire. 5 teams. Anyway, the Ocean State Athlete Podcast with Matt Moranto and Todd Zayek. You can check that out every week. You can check that out every week as AAU director and former Rhode Island high school basketball coach and legend Dave Tedeschi. They will talk about everything Rhode Island, but also the Evil Empire Takeover with Sin every Thursday. Find out and watch both shows on all SFBNRI platforms. So, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a quick break. After that, it's everyone's favorite segment, Game Picks, aka Nick's Picks. You're listening to TitleTown Throwdown right here on all SFBN platforms. 1 second. It won't. All right, welcome back to TitleTown Throwdown. So, it is everyone's favorite segment, Nick's Picks here. So, you always go, as usual, you just run down the week of the NFL games and see what's going on. So, Thursday Night Football here. This is a game in which you might want to just turn on it for background noise. You don't want to pay attention to it. The 1-5 Giants taking on the 1-4-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, yeah, intriguing NFC East matchup. Granted, the NFC East has to combine 5 wins for their entire division. The joke division. The joke game of the week. Not America's game of the week. The Joker's picks. Who let Joker from Arkham Asylum pick out the schedule? Honestly, Joker, stick to trying to find Batman. Anyway, I'll go the Eagles in this one. I think Carson Wentz and the Eagles, they build off of their very tough road loss last week against the Ravens. or home loss, I should say. They made a good comeback, good effort at it. So I think they ride that momentum into this game. Giants fall to 1-6. Eagles improved to 2-4-1. Yeah, still ties. That's a rant for next week. All right, a battle of unbeatens here, second week in a row between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the 5-0 Tennessee Titans. Game was in Nashville. This game was originally scheduled for week number 4, but got postponed to this week here. But either way, it's going to be a real tough game. I think this should be a really great game. We thought Steelers and Browns were going to be a great game. We don't know how that resulted out. This should be a great game. I'm actually going to go the Steelers over this one. It's going to be a tight one. I think they find a way to shut down Derrick Henry late and still win in Nashville. Pittsburgh improves to 6-0. Nashville, or I should say Tennessee, falls to 5-1. The 4-1 Green Bay Packers visit the 1-5 Houston Texans. Houston had a chance to win last week. Flubbed it. It went for 2, and they probably shouldn't have. So, and Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, they're looking for revenge. They're looking for a much better game this week than what happened in Tampa Bay. So I don't know Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The 2-4 Dallas Cowboys visiting the 1-5 Washington football team. Dallas has won 7 of the last 8 games against Washington. I'm going to go with Dallas in this one. I think Andy Dalton really starts to find his footing as starter of the Dallas Cowboys, and this could be a turnaround game for Dallas to really start to get their season on the right track. So I say Dallas improves to 3-4. Washington falls to 1-5. The 4-2 Buffalo Bills take on the 0-6 New York Jets. Bills, this should be a tape lock. All right, you should be able to go in there, kill them, get ready for New England. Bills improve to 5-2. Jets fall to 0-7, and just again, it's just the Jets being inept. Simple. All right, the 3-2 Carolina Panthers take on the 3-2 New Orleans Saints. This should be a very good divisional matchup here. It is Bridgewater's first game against the New Orleans Saints, a team that he led for 5 games while Drew Brees was out last year. Did very well. I'm going to say on the 3-3 Carolina Panthers, my apologies. I'm going to say Carolina upsets New Orleans in this one. Normally I went with New Orleans, but I'm going to turn around and go with Carolina. I think Carolina surprises New Orleans. Carolina improves to 4-3, and the Saints will fall back down to 500 at 3-3. The 4-2 Browns take on the 1-4-1 Bengals. Baker Mayfield is 4-1 in his career against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, they blew a lead last week against the Colts, another team that can blow leads. The Browns looking to rebound after a very bad loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to go the Browns in this one. Browns improved to 5-2. Bengals fall to 1-5-1, and pretty much will end any what slim hopes they had of the playoffs. At least it should. The Detroit Lions go down to Atlanta to play the 1-5 Atlanta Falcons. 3 of the last 4 matches between these two teams have been decided by 7 points or fewer. Same thing could be said here. I say Atlanta gets the win. They're second in a row, improved to 2-5 on the year, and the Lions go back to being the Lions, and they fall to 2-4. All right, good afternoon, Dave. If you're here in New England, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in Vegas to take on the 3-2 Raiders. It is John Gruden's first game against the Tampa Bay Bucs since leading them to the Super Bowl. This is going to be a great game. The Raiders coming off a bye week. The Buccaneers coming off a really good statement win against the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be a great game. Comes down to the wire, but I think the Buccaneers take it by a field goal. Tampa improves to 5-2, and Las Vegas will fall to 3-3. All right. The end of the week up here in New England. Jimmy G homecoming, taking on the Patriots. 3-3 Giant, 3-3 49ers, taking on the 2-3 Pats. If the Patriots can do everything I said earlier, prevent the big plays from happening and force Garoppolo into mistakes, which he is known for right now, Patriots can walk away feeling good about themselves, heading into Buffalo. 49ers fall to 3-4, which will hurt them in a very tough NFC West. Patriots improve to 3-3 to get them back in the AFC divisional race. All right. The Jaguars and the Chargers, that game features a pair of one-win teams. Both teams seeking their first win since week 1. Chargers, prior to their bye, they had a 17-point lead in back-to-back games between both the Buccaneers and the Saints. Both times they lost both leads. It's the Jaguars playing down to the level of your opponent, about the same level as you anyway. Justin Herbert comes out with the win, his first win as the start of the NFL. Chargers go to 2-4, and the Jaguars fall to 1-6. All right, another divisional matchup. The 5-1 defending champion Super Bowl Chiefs take on the 2-3 Denver Broncos. Kansas City has won 9 straight games against Denver. I think that domination continues. Chiefs go to 6-1. Broncos fall to 2-4. Sunday Night Football. This is a doozy. This is a must-watch game right here. The Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Since Russell Wilson took over as starter for the Seattle Seahawks, they are 6-1-1 with the Cardinals. That one tie coming a few years ago. Great game. I'm still going to go with the Seattle Seahawks in this one. I think the Seattle defense and the offense is going to be too much for Arizona. Kyler Murray is really going to have to throw the ball well. And I think Seattle's just going to have a game plan for them. Seattle improves to 6-0. Arizona falls to 4-3. And to wrap up week number 7 of the NFL season, we got it's a great matchup too. A lot of great matchups this week in the NFL. The Chicago Bears going to SoFi Stadium out in LA to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Rams are 14-4 at home since 2018. That should bode well for them. The Bears coming off a great win against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers a few weeks ago. I believe they had their bye last week. Either way, though, this is going to be a great game, but I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears in this one. Bears surprisingly go to 6-1, and the Rams will fall to 4-3, and will still be an extremely tight NFC West, but the Seahawks will start to run away with that division. All right. That'll do it for this week's edition of TitleTown Throwdown. I hope you all enjoy the program. My name's Nick LeBlanc. Coming up next here on the SFBN platforms, SFBNRI platforms, is MMA Complete with Zach. So I'll leave it to him in about 10 minutes. Zach, don't go too hard on him. Anyway, though, thank you for listening to TitleTown Throwdown. My name's Nick LeBlanc, and I'll talk to you next Thursday.